Welcome into my craft room, Heidi Sonboul DIY. In today's episode, we are going to be making some really easy projects using Dollar Tree supplies for this summer season. A lot of red, white, and blue. Friends, I'm so grateful you are all here. Thank you for stopping in to visit with me today. Now come along and let's make something beautiful for our homes. I am using 3 of these American flags, this darling God Bless America truck sign that you can hang up, as well as this wood round. I'm also going to be adding in some foam and some greenery as well as white beads. I'll show that later on. I saw these fans at the Dollar Tree and I thought the fabric on them is so cute. I bet we could turn this into a beautiful, high-end, easy, ready-to-make wreath. I am simply taking off the fabric from the fan plastic pieces, and because it's round, it's got that curved edge, it's going to work perfect on this wood round craft wood piece. I am just going to glue down one side, line it all up, add on a whole bunch of glue, and then just lay it right down into the glue. I want to keep the pleats so I'm not pushing down completely. I'm just kind of tapping very gently and massaging it into the glue, as well as, shifting it around so it's got that pleated look. I went around with 3 pieces, and on the last piece you're going to have to align them and bring them together. As I was doing this, I realized the round circle in the middle where there is not fabric, that's how you're going to end up getting a nice rounded look. If it gets off alignment by just a little bit, it's no big deal. All you have to do is take your scissors and just snip a little bit and you can't even notice. Now I'm going to take that truck sign and I'm going to take it apart from the little metal hooks, the chain that was on it. I'm going to add in a piece of foam right into the center of our wreath. I'm going to cut off some of the greenery from a Dollar Tree pick, push that into the foam, and I'm as well going to add in some florals. I really wanted to spruce up underneath where the truck is going to be, so I added in as many florals as I would like. You do whatever you want for greenery or florals. It's up to you. But once you've got everything pushed into that foam, and it's easiest to do that part first before you put down the truck, so that way you can get underneath into the foam area. Then I'm going to add some E6000 and some hot glue and push that right onto the foam. Now, just to warn you, anytime you're using hot glue on metal, the heat will transfer through the metal. So be cautious when you're putting hot glue on metal and pushing it down and gluing it into place. The E6000 is going to help the metal lock into each other and onto the foam so it doesn't pop off easily, since there's not a lot of surface that the hot glue is going to want to lock onto. So it's got that long-term, short-term hold, and it'll hold together nicely in whatever your weather may be. Warm, for certain hot states. I know some of you have really hot states where the glue will melt in the heat, the hot glue, so that E6000 will lock it in. Now to clean up those little holes where the chains were, I'm just adding on some half wood round beads to cover those up. I'm not going to do the ones up on the truck because those ones are easier to kind of hide amongst those florals. But then right underneath the God Bless America sign, I added in a twine bow as well as a red button. Now to be able to hang it up, I flipped it over, and using the original twine string that came with the wood round, I am going to simply slide on some of these white beads I get from the Dollar Tree, and then I'm going to lock it back into place. This was the easiest project, super quick, and it has such a high-end finished look. I hope you will give this one a try. This project is going to be using a lot of wood pieces. I've got a craft wood stick from the Dollar Tree. These spool spindles, as well as this little chest piece, came from Hobby Lobby, and then this pack of shaped wood pieces are from the Dollar Tree. Start by taking a craft stick and putting it into a smaller spool, and I'm just going to wiggle that down in there. It fits perfect, nice and snug. To secure it and make sure it doesn't pop off, I'm adding in some glue down into the spool. I'm going to make sure there's a little dollop of glue at the top so that I can put on that little tiny chest piece, finial piece, whatever you want to call it. I always wait for my wood pieces to go on sale when I do go to Hobby Lobby, so that's always a tip. And then at the bottom of the larger spool, I decided to add on a circular wood piece. That as well comes from Hobby Lobby, but again, I get them when they're on sale to help support the base a little bit better. Now I added some glue down into the spool as well, and then I let it sit for a second, then added in my craft stick. You can see that I'm slowly spinning it to lock into place so it's nice and straight. Once that base is built, I'm now going to take my stars and I'm going to put a beaded glue going down, and I'm going to add that right onto that craft stick. Once they're straight, I flipped it over and I'm going to add a lot of extra glue to really lock it in place so that these stars do not pop off easily. Then to really support it, I'm taking a piece of drop cloth fabric. You can use whatever fabric you have on hand. And I'm going to glue that right into the glue so it really locks it in and these stars are not going anywhere. Now I'm going to take some white paint and I am going to give this 2 coats of white paint. You can paint this whatever color you want. I could see red being a really beautiful one too. I decided to go with white, and I'm going to keep this pretty neutral because I thought it would be really cool to use this all throughout the year. There are a lot of different times throughout the year I can see myself using stars for 4th of July, Memorial Day, and then going into the fall and Christmas season and even into winter. So I'm going to just leave this white, but I wanted to distress it to bring in a little bit of that farmhouse flair because I like a little distressed look. And I'm just going to dry brush all over the stars where it would naturally become distressed over time. Once I have that done, it's ready to display. But friends, you can decorate this however you want with ribbons, buttons. Have fun with this one. For this project, I'm going to be using 3 of these glittered frames. I thought they went perfect with this Glitter USA decor piece from the Dollar Tree, as well as some fabric. And you can use whatever fabric you want. This is just one that I had on hand. I'm going to take apart the frames. I'm only going to be using the backer as well as the glitter frame itself. So the rest of the other pieces, those can go ahead and go off to the side. You can save them for other craft projects or you can toss them. Once all your frames are apart, go ahead and dismantle your USA glitter garland piece. They have staples on the back of them, or at least this one did. Sometimes they're glued. I went ahead and pulled those apart safely so I didn't get poked by any staples. And then for the fabric, I cut out a long piece that I can use to glue to all the backers of the frames. Adding on lots of glue throughout the middle and the sides because we're going to be gluing these letters onto the fabric. It can pull it away if you don't add glue into the middle of that fabric on the backing of the frame. So just make sure you get glue all over it, rub it into place, cut out the extra you don't need, and then pop them into the frames. Now you definitely can do it like this, or you can also distress it and make it look more vintage. There's a lot of fun different possibilities with this idea, but I'm going to just go with a traditional glittered look. I'm gluing on the USA onto the fabric into the center of all the frames. Once those are all glued on, it's ready to decorate in your home for this summer and all of our patriotic holiday seasons. I had this sign on hand for a while. I picked up quite a few of them back in the day when they first came out. I'm going to pair it with these darling little beads that you can get in the craft section at the Dollar Tree, as well as some ribbon. Start by taking off the original twine string that's on the USA tag sign. And I got another piece of twine that's longer. I added on a piece of washi tape at the end to kind of create a needle. And now I'm going to string on these little beads. The colors of these beads are perfect. Again, they're in the craft section and they have a whole bunch of different colors, but the red and the blue are so perfect for American decor. I'm going back and forth between a blue and a red, stringing them on. Once they were all strung on, I decided to tie a knot right at the end of the bead on each side. That way so they don't slide around and the twine stays nice and tight where the beads are. And then I'm going to bring it onto the tag, bringing the ends together and doing a little loop knot. And then so that it stays in place, I'm going to add a little bit of glue, because on top of that glue, we're going to add a whole bunch of bows. I cut off the extra twine that we don't need, and now I'm going to start bringing in the bows. First, I brought in a big red double looped bow, then a blue and white star bow. This is the only ribbon that does not come from the Dollar Tree. I got it from Joann's a long time ago when it was on clearance, but they have lots of great bows and ribbons at the Dollar Tree. Then I brought in a twine bow, and in the center of that, I mean, this is a Heidi project. Put whatever you want, but I'm going to add on a star because I just can't help myself with these star buttons. So I'm going to add a flat star button and then a red star button. Now, have you all heard the scoop that potentially Michaels is going to be picking up a lot of the branding that came from Joann's? We'll have to look into that more, friends. Let me know. Leave a comment down below if you know. To finish this look, we're going to add on some greenery and it's ready to hang up in your home. I am so grateful for all of you stopping in and visiting with me today in my craft room. I hope you give some of these ideas a try. And if you don't decorate for 4th of July, these can all be altered to so many other seasonal projects. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It always helps out my channel. And if you missed it, I posted this video just a few days ago where I created a vintage bicycle with Dollar Tree supplies. I'm going to link it right here so you can check it out just in case you missed it. And until the next episode, bye friends.